full-time special education teacher.
So moved.
Motion by Dick,
Second.
second by Jen.
How's Kara tonight?
Very good. All right, so Sarah is currently a fifth grade teacher in Columbus. Recently relocated to Iron Ridge, looking for employment closer to where she lives. So she will be joining us as our middle school IB teacher, so grades 6 to 8. And she is not currently licensed as a special ed teacher, but she will be going back to UW-Whitewater to obtain her full licensure. She should have it by the end of next school year if she stays on her trajectory. So we will be emergency licensing her for that.
She does have a minor in.
You're right, she does. She has a minor in adaptive education, which is basically a supplementary license to go along with the general education license, saying you've had a little extra training in how to modify, adapt, and accommodate learners who have special education needs.
Any questions? Go
I,
ahead.
I think it's pretty exciting because to me, in the world of special education, we want to have same or different, right? So here we have someone coming into our special education field with a regular education degree, general ed for elementary, with some already extra scoop training, and they're going to go back to get certification for special ed. So to me, I think that's a win-win-win for the department.
Any questions for Kara on this hire? Dick?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye. Aye. Motion carries 5-0-2. Resolution 1920-149. Approval to hire Jason Fensky, full-time special education teacher. So moved. Motion by Jim,
Second.
second by Norm. Kara?
All right, so Jason was looking to kind of get back into the field, or not back into, but get into the field of special education. He has a strong background in criminal justice. You can see by the letter there, he has a lot of experience in the prison system, therapeutic programming for inmates, things of that capacity. So he has the right skill set to help us teach our learners who have intensive behavior support needs. So he also is not licensed. He does have a bachelor's degree, but it is not in the field of education, so schools are very new to him. He will be going to Marian University. I believe he starts next month, his coursework to get his licensure. So again, emergency licensing him. I'm not sure what his projected end date is. I don't think it's as quick as Sarah's, but he'll stay on course to get that licensure.
Did he find us, or did we find him?
He found us.
Wanted it different.
Something different.
Different.
So yeah. He said special ed has intrigued him, so he wanted to give it a go.
Different one?
Yeah.
Any questions for Kara on this approved hire? Jim?
Aye.
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 Motion carried 5-0-2.
I assume we're pretty lucky to fill these positions,
Yeah.
period.
This time of year.
Period. Yes. This time of year, I was glad to find applicants, but qualified people that we felt could do the job and serve our students well. So yes, I do feel like we're very fortunate.
I would think somebody with criminal justice background would be potential for some other classes or, extracurricular for kids or something that.
One of the things that we've talked about in for Mayville School District is looking at our alternative education program, our at-risk program, and just that like this before it becomes special education, what are some opportunities we have to provide interventions and support? So right now we have spent the whole school year a team meeting every 2 weeks plus on really developing our multi-level systems of support. So when you say things like that, we are absolutely looking at all of our staff and what tools do they have in their toolbox, where can they fit. As we, like right now, we've got a great fit with a position, but we're always looking at resources and how do you think outside of the box. So having someone like that, in some school districts, they do not have school resource officers, right? But they do have a social worker. They have an extra school psych life that we picked up earlier this year. So looking at our resource map and people's backgrounds, we're absolutely open to opportunities. But in the meantime, we have plenty of needs in the role that he's filling.
He's also a certified yoga instructor, so
Ah.
that's very exciting too.
Professional development, yes.
Right, exactly.
So where will he, what
He will
building?
be in Connections Academy at the middle school. So that program, I think I spoke earlier this year, we had several transfer students and put us over what we had staffed. We are finally, with the next resolution, going to be staffed in that program. So he'll take the 4th to 8th graders. So it'll be 2 rooms now instead of 1. So we'll have a teacher for K to 3 and a teacher for grades 4 to 8 within that program.
All right. Resolution 1920-150, approval to hire Cassandra Walk for special education paraprofessional.
So
Jenny? Second, Nora. Okay.
Okay, so Cassie actually started today doing some training. She came to us, she was a manager at Walmart for a very, very long time. She's looking for a change of pace, wanting to be in the schools. She has a great, pleasant demeanor that is very calm, and I think will work well with our students in Connections Academy. So we did offer her the position, she accepted, and we're here. She lives in Juneau, so not too far of a trek, and she is, I think, going to be a wonderful addition to Connections Academy. And she is the last hire. So, really excited about that.
Any questions on this approval to hire? Jenny?
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried 502. Thank you, Karen.
Thanks for all the work that you've done on this year. It's been challenging.
You're welcome. Kids need it. We're good.
Resolution 1920-151, approval of monetary gift from Windsor, Wisconsin, and Wingettes to the 6th grade camp program. So moved. Motion by Jim.
Second.
Second by Dick.
I'm sure that money
We've got Patty out in the audience today. Patty, you willing to come up here?
I'm sorry, we're talking. The word 6th grade camp came up.
Yeah,
Okay.
could you speak about how the fundraising efforts are going and just kind of?
Oh, that we're getting a grant
Yeah,
from
just-
the Wings Over Wisconsin,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So it's right on here for $2,500 and
Yes.
$1,000 for approval by the board,
Yes.
so.
Terry and I were very pleased that it was well received
yeah.
and they're willing to support us, so. Yeah.
How's the other things?
We're in good shape for this
Yeah.
year. Mhm. Yes, all is well for this year. I'll talk to you about next year another
So
time.
what's the reception then as far as the fundraising goes and more like parents of 6th grade camp kind of concept, and how's that all gone as far as?
Well, we only did one fundraiser this fall instead of one in the fall and one in the spring, and the parents really appreciated that. We're getting more and more parents involved with the script program, so that's very helpful as well. So, small steps.
Great.
And we do have a committee working on getting a Friends of Anakiji website set up, and we have high hopes for that.
Cool.
Mm.
Awesome.
I think if you hit past the alumni,
Yeah, you've got
Yes, that's our
That's
goal.
what
30 plus years of alumni, right?
40.
Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So that's the goal.
yeah.
So to keep connected. Oh, awesome.
Thanks, Patty.
Mhm.
I'll pass on. I talked to Phil Sadowski fairly often. Pass on to him. Camp looks good for this year. We'll be very happy to hear that.
How's he doing?
I guess, I'd say as good as can be expected. Phil's, I don't know, Phil's in his 80s.
He's
I don't
well
know,
into his 80s.
and has had some long-term health issues, but he is great spirit. When you talk with him, he's cheery and really paying attention to what's going on in the world around him, and it's good. I'd say he's doing pretty well.
And he's been updated on all of these things too, and he's thrilled. He loves hearing our news.
Yes.
Any more discussion on monetary gifts? Jim?
Aye.
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 Hi.
Motion carried 502. Resolution 1920-152, approval of agreement with Wisconsin School Nutrition Purchasing Cooperative Agreement.
So moved.
Motion by Norm. Second by
Yeah.
Dick.
Can you speak to this?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a renewal, so we've been, I believe last year's the first time that we joined the co-op. And some of the background information is that there's a cost to join the co-op, it's $300. But with that, we receive rebates because of being in the co-op of $1,230. So it's already paid for itself. Then on top of it, we receive discounts for paying our invoices to the co-op in a timely manner that ranges between $10 to $15 a month in savings. And then they do have a order guide process that has been streamlined, and it has in it what's considered preferred items that are reviewed by dietitians, nutrition experts. So a committee does that work, and they put them at the preferred lists, at the top of the list for their price and also their quality. So like right now, we have 100% beef patties that are come at a discounted price, and that's because of being a part of the co-op. So as I mentioned, it's $300 a year, and great benefit to the food service program is the networking that comes with being a part of the co-op and lessons learned and resources shared. So absolutely need your approval. Something that's been great for us.
Any questions on this approval of the agreement? Norm?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried 502. Resolution 1920-153, approval to hire Justin Yankee, middle school wrestling coach.
So moved.
Motion by Norm. Second by
Second.
Jimmy.
So Justin has been a volunteer coach with the program for a few years now, and he's stepping in to take over the actual middle school program. So it's a paid position. He's been associated with the program, but this is a paid position.
Sure. Any questions on this approval to hire? Norm?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried 502. Resolution 1920-154, approval of policy updates.
So moved.
Motion by Jimmy,
I'll second.
second by Jim.
Okay. I included the updates, the overviews in this agenda again.
Yes.
So if you have anything you want to review there, otherwise it came up, so the committee went through the policy updates, approved those, came to the last board meeting at a higher level in the administrative report, and then formally it just requires one round of approval. So that's what it is tonight. It's an action item for you to approve. I kind of bucketed them into major highlights this last time: conflict of interest policies, non-discrimination, anti-harassment, and then there was the fund balance piece. So the conversation you had live at the last board meeting, those updates were all made to any of the policies, and they should all be ready to go.
You know, years ago, we read each one of these.
Yeah, what are you talking about? You have read all of them. The links that have been sent to you.
Yes, I do have
Yeah.
questions after attending workshops. I do have questions on some of them.
I couldn't do it.
Okay. Sure. So what it means to us as far as implementation of them?
Right, well, the way they're written, they use shall instead of may in some
Mhm.
places, you know, and some of the law kind of requires things, so shall shouldn't be in there, you know what I'm saying? But it's one of those,
Well, shall is you will do.
right, and may you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's one of, with a video, okay, just for example, you discipline a kid off of a video you got in the hallway, you discipline them from that. That video should also be part of his
That's a
personal
part
record,
of an archive.
but
Yeah.
you only keep them, that you don't have it.
You'll have to
It
download it
disappears.
and save it. So
Yeah.
after this, we're gonna literally need a administrative team workshop to kind of, what's the word, digest all of these updates.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty significant.
Yes, they
I
are.
kind of gave them a warning one day. I said, this is a big deal. Like, when we're coming down to this, it's all about record keeping, record keeping, record keeping.
Yeah.
And we absolutely do that, but like you just mentioned, I do not believe in the past, if we said, Johnny pushed Susie on the playground, we looked at the camera, we saw that we would automatically go and download a snippet of that information. If anything, I would think like a photo would be the maximum, but we have not archived that stuff in the past. So we're gonna have to go through all of that and just say, okay, what does this mean to us? What does this mean? Is this different?
Right, and before that, if there was a group of kids that were together, you were supposed to blot them out so you couldn't see it. Only if you've got the capability to do that now. Otherwise, you can use the picture just as it is. If you
Yeah,
don't
it's an
have-
internal student record.
Right. No,
So we can't release those.
no,
You know,
no,
that's-
well,
that's the
it's a
thing.
private record, that's
Right.
something that can't be released anyhow.
So, yeah, there's lots of work that we're going to be undertaking that goes along with these updates. But when it said may switch to shall, a lot of that has to do with the amount of the word bullying I'll use that has come up in society. So therefore, we need to change our practices to go along with that to show our support and responsiveness. In the world of harassment and what has happened in society. So that's where these policies are getting started. It's not, hey, something happened in Mayville, we need to change our policy. It's not at all. These are, NEOLA is an acronym for a group of attorneys that sit in a room to vet out policies and say, this is what best practice is. And we are hired the service so that we get that level of detail to the policies. But yeah, this is probably to me, while there's a lot of patterns and themes that come in them, this has a major impact on the administrative team and the documentation that goes through with the investigations. And what does it mean to have a note? Right? What is a note? And how does that get archived? Right. So, thanks for noticing. Appreciate it. Because it's a big deal to us. So they have yet to see all of the updates. So now that they're approved, they're going to get, it takes about a month for them to be up and running. So we'll have to be ready to go and have our practices online to that. I would say in many ways we're great, but there are some new extra scoop things that we'll have to be doing.
Any discussion on any of the policies? Jenny?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
And thanks for you guys looking through them. It took me a half hour just to read that one of them.
I'm like, because we did read them all,
Yeah,
Dick.
Till midnight, no,
Yeah.
something like that.
It was after 11.
Motion carried 502. Resolution 1920-155, approval to hire Brittany Kutka as bilingual paraprofessional. So moved. Motion by Norm,
Second.
by Jenny. Okay.
We are very, very excited about how quickly the turnaround was from the time we posted this position to the time we found someone. So as Kara had mentioned, like for some of the positions we're trying to fill that are more of this niche market, it's just been very challenging. So it's a labor market is what it comes down to. So we are fortunate, we posted for a bilingual support staff member. It is the first time I think we've ever actually posted a position looking for someone who is specifically bilingual. And it's to support some of our students that are moving here. So they do not speak English, is the deal.
So I think
And
it's
so we're
Spanish,
talking
right?
full immersion. Right, so right now, our major needs in the world of EL, which is English learner, is, our major need is Spanish. So students coming in, speaking Spanish, and picking up English as their second language is the deal, right? So, and we really did, it just changed to EL, English learner. So when we posted the position, we were fortunate to find a brand new individual living in the area that just graduated from college with a Spanish certification and a ESL license, an EL license. So that's phenomenal for us. We only have, in our staff of over 100 people, we only have one other person with that actual certification, and our 2 Spanish teachers do not have that EL certification. So it's a rare commodity for us. So to find that person and have them accept a support staff job is phenomenal. So we may come back and see opportunities for growing this role is what I'd like to share with you. one of the best ways to support students that do not speak English is by having someone who can interpret throughout the day. So this is overall, this position will be in our middle school. We do have students at the high school that have come to us only speaking Spanish as well this year, but we have more Spanish speakers or novice Spanish speakers on staff with background that can just kind of help out. And we do also have our Spanish teaching staff. But the key part is that they're not trained in teaching English, they're trained in teaching Spanish to English speakers. Very different. So as we have this hire, we're still talking about how and when do we provide English instruction to students that do not speak it, and how we provide that service. So we purchased some Rosetta Stone licenses. We purchased some interpreters that did not work out for us, like technology, artificial intelligence. It didn't work with our filtering system. So just block them, because they have to connect to Wi-Fi. The devices aren't sophisticated enough to get the certificate and stuff. So a lot goes behind this hire is what I want to share with you. So very fortunate. She did her student teaching in Lake Mills, actually, and I was able to, I know for the people that she was working with, that's where I once was high school principal there. So graduating from UW Whitewater and actually studied abroad in Costa Rica. And these are one of those areas where I met with her, just spoke some real basic Spanish. I'm talking like my kindergarten Spanish. I'm pretty good at kindergarten level. But what you can do by engaging with that is you can tell people really have been exposed to travel and like, so using my slang terms, like she did a really great job of putting the accent on the right syllable. Like she did a wonderful job. Like, yes, this is authentic. She really knows what she's doing. I'm very optimistic about her position here and think that she could really do so much more. So
Well, that's
it's our
gonna be my
first time.
question. How can we keep somebody like that? Obviously, she's overqualified
For sure.
for the level we're hiring.
Correct. So we could have her for the spring, and then there'll be a vacancy someplace out there, and as they just went right. So that's something that we need to consider at the same time that we're setting up our budget priorities for the school year, and that's just what we'll be dealing with. I have had other people just recently reach out to us that certainly would be qualified for the role that live in the community. So we have a gift. We have somebody willing to accept the position. That's great. It'll be a really nice experience for her to also build up her resume, and we'll keep her as long as we can.
At what point do you think that the district might need a EL teacher?
So, okay, so right now, we are using the services of Roxanne Court to support the EL students. We're using Lori Gutzman. So Roxanne is at the middle school building, the grades 3 through 8. And then Lori Gutzman is one of our K2 reading interventionists, but also has this background, she's the only person with the EL license. So we are using those individuals to support. Now that we found someone like this, I think we're gonna kind of do a little different look at what our opportunities are to provide the support. And she's also brand new too, so what I shared when I met with her was, let's all get in the room, let's start talking about a vision for how we provide those services, and just kind of map things out. So if I look at where we were 3 years ago compared to where we are today, we're doing great. Like, we've really improved our services. In the meantime, the needs of the students coming in are growing, and they're growing quickly.
And likely will continue on that trend, what we're
So
seeing.
kind of similar to what's happened with the Connections Academy, right? So we had a plan, student needs have grown, we're doing some scrambling, we're finally getting some people onboarded during the school year. Well, we're with the EL piece, what are we doing? We had a plan, needs are changing, now we're scrambling. The challenge with us is, with all of this, we absolutely have to do right by our staff, do right by our students. But with that is having a budget that's in alignment with what we can afford. That's the challenging part of the conversation, is the deal. So I think we're doing great. This is a great new hire. This was not in the budget for the school year. What are we gonna do? Do right by kids, so do right by our staff and our learning organization. So it's something to just monitor and to try to be strategic about. So we believe that what we're experiencing now is not just for this year. We believe that this is the trend and how it's going to be.